Hello and welcome to episode 188 of Nolo Time. My name is Ovid Velez, and with me is the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's good? No low time. Obed, it's a pleasure to be with you again, my friend.
Good
It's
to be
been a
back, sir.
while.
Yeah, it feels like a long time, but we're on a
Week to
regular
week.
schedule, sir. I don't know what's going on.
I know, man. Week to week, but a lot happens in between weeks. And although it's been a year of this, more over a year now, like we were
Yeah,
used to seeing each other, nearly daily or every other day. So
basically, yeah,
yeah, man.
yeah. It's been another crazy year. For some reason, it this year feels like it's actually going by faster than last year. It's weird.
I agree.
I think it's just a mix of being sort of kind of back to,
Right.
I guess, quote unquote normal, and still being at home. It's
Yeah.
it's kind of weird, and I think that's probably why. But I mean, it's good to go out and see people, honestly,
It
and
is.
talk to
It
people without
is.
masks too. If you're vaccinated,
That is
hey,
true,
you know
right?
what? Hey, you can
Yes.
take advantages of that. Take
Exactly. Be
advantages of
inoculated.
science. Yeah, knuckleheads. just to
No, it's
just in
true.
the
It's
right
true. It's say
words.
you
Yeah,
do, yeah, you do the right thing, you're
yeah,
good.
yeah,
No,
exactly.
man. But yeah, no, it's good to get out there. It's good to see stuff. I mean, we've got movie theaters reopening clearly all across the board. Stadiums packed, sports stadiums packed.
Yeah,
It's a different time. It's like you said, it's all happening fast. Black
yes,
Widow, man, it's coming next week
I know.
already. Like things are happening. I was like Snake Eyes. I forgot that movie was even coming. Like a,
It's
a lot of stuff quickly rolling through.
a big year for Asian centric movies. I
Yes.
appreciate it. I really appreciate it. So that's good. That's good. We definitely needed it. Um, given the the wave that at least it seemed to have died down, but we had a little rough patch there. But it's great. That Shang-Chi looks amazing, and
Oh my gosh.
there was another a movie with like an Asian main character. I forgot what it was. It's coming out. Oh
Coming out? Hmm.
yeah, it was also an action movie. Um, anywho, it's good. It's good.
It's great.
Yeah, and it's great that we're able to again have experiences. Yeah, it's great to see the NBA games and everything's
It's
full, and the Lightning games, and it's packed
yeah,
solid. It's great to see that again. I know
absolutely.
that other countries and some even other places in the U.S. are not in that type of position, but again, like I said, don't be a knucklehead. Take advantage of science. There's
Help
no
help stop the
You're not gonna
spread.
become Magneto, and they're not gonna track you because they already are. Because you already have a phone. It's fine.
They're listening
So
right now,
yeah, they're
guys.
listening, right? Oh, they literally
Oh,
are. I mean,
oh,
we're on
don't break the
Facebook Live.
timeline. A TVA might show up.
we got
A
a
Nexus event.
clear Nexus event here, man.
We've broken the timeline, Obed.
Oh, bro, what's going on? What you up to?
Oh my gosh, dude. Well, I mean, it's been busy over here. A lot going on. I did get out and actually, because we're talking about movies, I did get out and actually see Fast and Furious with
Ooh,
some family members.
okay.
Wanted to do something fun, and so decided, we know these movies, so why not casually get a popcorn flick? And honestly, like none of those movies are good movies. I'm sorry to say it.
Yeah.
They are what they are, right? They're action flicks, and they never cease to get less ridiculous. Like they only get crazier, and the whole like I'm not gonna spoil it, but the whole space thing, dude, absolutely nuts, absolutely crazy. I mean, I'm
Wow.
wearing literally a space hat right now, a SpaceX hat. Like I'm, Obed. Like I'm a big space nut. Like like I'm big on. I watch a lot of the rocket launches and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm big into that stuff. So when I'm seeing these two clowns going up into space,
With like duct tape and in
duct
their
tape,
their
literal duct
suits.
tape.
Yeah, there was
I,
IGN
I
put out a
can't, man.
video. Um, IGN put out a video a couple weeks ago. It was an astrophysicist looking at these scenes
Well,
and saying, "I
yeah.
was like, yeah, if you want to die, you can just go ahead and do that."
That's the thing. There's so many little details. I'm like, you would literally it's impossible. You would not make it.
Yeah.
So and then not even just the fact of them doing it, but without spoiling it, the individuals responsible for creating the spacecraft, e- like it's a part of the Fast and Furious lore, makes zero sense. Like these people could barely take a could barely drive and take a turn in one movie, and now they're over here building rocket ship. I'm not want to get it's absolutely ridiculous. It makes
They
no
went
sense.
from building a Supra to building a rocket, and now a
Seriously.
literal like spaceship.
Yeah, dude.
It's
It's
ridiculous,
absolutely,
man.
I have to tell myself when I watch these movies, and I kind of feel similarly when I watch Transformers. Not gonna lie, it's like I
Well,
feel like I have to
Transformers is
tell
like a
myself
straight up sci-fi movie, so anything goes,
it
right?
is,
Yeah,
it is. That's true. Like
yeah,
these guys are making like Vin Diesel's like Superman or something.
yeah.
But I say this to say like when I'm sitting there watching these movies, like 8-year-old Joel is sitting here. Like there's not I can't be a grown man sitting here watching these movies. Like, like I can't be a grown adult sitting here watching this. Like 8-year-old Joel's brain right now is turned on. He's just watching explosions go off. But yeah, there's a pretty cool
I'm
setup
just,
for their next movie, and I don't know what else to say.
I'm just laughing because of that stupid ride at Universal where he like punches a helicopter or something.
Ride or die.
It's like, it's like I waited an hour for this.
Oh my gosh, never wait out for that ride. Oh
No
my
man,
gosh.
it was the last
Oh, that's
one,
rough.
the
That's
last ride of
rough.
the day though. That's like it's this, and then we
What a
go
way to
home.
go
So
out.
it's yeah,
So you're driving home,
bro. He
rocking your car, just
punched the helicopter. The helicopter goes like.
well, I mean, we were talking about this. I don't know if
Killing
did
me.
you see the last Fast and Furious movie, Fast 8,
Is that the
with
one
Charlize
with Charlie
Theron?
Theron? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that one always cracked me up because of The Rock pushing with his fingers a torpedo. He literally reaches
Yeah,
down,
in the
put
ice.
like
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah,
ice. I mean,
yeah,
there's
yeah. That was
I can go on and
stupid.
on and on about the most ridiculous. No one's really dead in these
Did John
movies.
Cena body
Everybody's
slam a
Superman.
car on this one? Like actual
Oh,
pickup, an
John
actual
Cena runs
car.
through walls, dude. Literally runs through walls.
Juggernaut.
No, yeah, the Juggernaut is here.
Oh
I didn't
man.
see him though. I didn't see him.
Oh no, they said that he was in the movie, but I don't
I
know.
don't know
So
where.
walls were exploding by
It's one of
themselves. And,
themselves.
yeah. John Cena, what a guy.
No, he did. He actually is pretty good though in this movie. Not gonna lie.
It's good,
John's pretty good.
good. Yeah, I'll check it out on, on Peacock or whatever.
Right, right.
So, yeah,
That's the way
I
to go.
I have no hurry on.
I even went back and because of Snake Eyes coming out, I saw on Netflix they had the old GI Joe Rise of Cobra movie.
They
I
do
hadn't seen that
have it,
movie in
yeah.
a long time,
I've only watched it once.
dude. Does not hold up well.
Really?
CG is like really bad because I mean this is like DVD/Blu-ray era, like things,
It's like
technology was
2007,
changing.
right?
Yeah, something like that. So it's very much one of those films you can see that transition.
Hmm.
It's funny, like when I think of movies like that, like I still think of, and it's not even just a nostalgia thing. I think like when I think of like Lord of the Rings, especially like those movies, because of the way they handled the practical part so well,
Yeah.
it doesn't bother me like going back and watching those effects versus like something like this. It just sticks out like a sore thumb. It is Channing
Yeah.
Tatum's doing stuff that's physically impossible again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan.
Yeah.
Like we talked about a couple weeks ago, I was not a huge G.I. Joe guy, but I watched it and I don't know. I was indifferent towards it. I
Yeah.
think the second one, man, I think the second one I rented from like the library or I had it like because there was a we used to live in an apartment complex before we moved to the house where they had like a DVD library that you can go in and get a movie, and I think
Nice.
I got it from there. Yeah, so it's
That one had The Rock in it too. That
yeah,
was
that's the one with the Rock where like Channing Tatum dies at the beginning of the movie.
yeah.
The movie's
Oh
dumb.
man. But there is some good Snake Eyes scenes in that movie
There's
though.
yeah with the
And
the
that
stuff with
the
Storm Shadow is really good.
yeah,
Yeah,
across the mountaintop
yeah,
or whatever, they're like fighting or whatever. Yeah. That's pretty good, but generally speaking,
yeah. As a
it's
movie,
rough.
like action set pieces, yeah. But the if you're going to watch it for story, you're watching the wrong movie.
So are they gonna make another GI Joe like after the Snake Eyes? It's called like GI Joe Origins or something. So I'm like, what are you guys gonna do?
I really don't know where they're planning on that franchise. Which, by the way, we didn't talk about it last week, but do you see the Transformers thing? The
I
next movie?
did,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
The
it's
Beast Wars.
yeah. Well, it's gonna be in the '90s, and it's gonna be a crossover between Bumblebee era Transformers and Beast Wars. Yeah, yeah.
That's gonna be good.
Ron Perlman's gonna do Optimus
Yeah.
Primal. Yeah,
Yep.
that's I'm in. I'm in on
Is
that
it
one.
is it the same director, Travis Knight?
Good question. I don't know. I know
Let
that
me fact
as far
check
as I
this right
know,
now.
Michael
If it's
Bay's not
Travis
involved.
Knight, it should be good. Yeah, I didn't hear Michael Bay.
No, I didn't. Yeah, they're not pushing Michael Bay at all for this movie. So fact
Beast
checking on the
Wars.
fly. I am really
I'm checking
excited.
right
This
now.
is Rise of the Beasts or something like that. Should be interesting because they confirmed that like Peter Cullen's going to be back as
Yep,
Optimus and
Rise of the Beast. Uh,
directed by
who is it
not
directed?
Michael Bay. Like
No,
not
Stephen Cappell Jr. What was this guy made?
all right. Gotcha.
The Land and Creed 2.
Okay.
So
Yeah, Creed 2 is good. I liked it.
yeah,
Liked it quite a lot.
yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah. All right, sure.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Interesting. Yeah, we'll see. Uh, Not much on my end. Trying to think if I watched anything of note. I probably didn't. Watched some more Titans. I'm almost done with like the second season, so
Did you
I'm
see the
good there.
trailer for the new season?
I have not.
Okay, make sure you finish out your stuff, but it's good. It's a good trailer.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, not much there to say. Still playing Sekiro. It's amazing. Um, I'm not entirely sure how am I. I got there's too much stuff, Joe. Like I love games, right? But we're reaching the saturation point where there's too much good stuff out of there, and there's I know in your case like you haven't played like God of War and Horizon and Ghosts and there's stuff coming out for Assassin's Creed, so it's a lot, man. So I'm just trying to come up with a roadmap, right? Because there's stuff that I want to get, but I don't like to get stuff and not play it. I'm I'm that kind of gamer, I guess, and I'm pretty far into Sekiro. I don't think I'm too far back. I think I'm actually pretty well poised to finish that game in a couple more hours. But the problem is that now with like we'll talk about it later about Ghost of Tsushima and then Final Fantasy VII, Guilty Gear and Ratchet and whatever they announced at their event, it's just a lot, dude, and I just don't have a lot of time to dedicate to the platform, and it's becoming a problem to me because I love to play games and I really love to enjoy them. On top of that, I signed back up to Game Pass this past weekend on
He bit
PC.
the bullet.
Yeah, so like my daughter wanted to play Among Us. Like she's like, Among Us, Among Us, Among Us. Okay, so it was like $3 on Steam, right? But it was like, oh, you know what? I'll just get Game Pass for a month, have her play Among Us for a couple of rounds, and then I can just play something else. Just either finish Gears 4 that I never finished, and do that. But then I realized that the EA Play stuff is there, so I went ahead and downloaded one of the Need for Speed games and started playing
Nice,
that.
nice,
Uh, bro, it looks great on this new monitor, man. Running stuff at like 100 frames a second. I was like, yo, this is sick.
nice.
It's great. Uh,
Do you so you have a you put it you have your Xbox controller, right, that you use on it, right?
I got
Or
a PS4 controller.
okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember you
So
mentioned you wanted to get an Xbox
yeah,
controller or something.
I never got it because I
Okay.
wanted to get like an Xbox Series controller, one of the new ones. When
Yeah.
they came out, never got it because I canceled Game Pass in November of last year. And
Right.
yeah, so that's why I never got it. It's like I'm not gonna spend 60, $70 on a controller if I'm not gonna use it. So I'm just gonna keep using my DualShock. Um, and DualShock works perfect. I mean, because I use it. Um, I have the app that emulates the Xbox controller. The is it yeah, the S4 Windows.
Okay.
So I use that.
especially
Yeah.
especially that you have a PS5 now. Everything's dual sense, so your dual
Yeah.
shock, still be used.
Yeah, and I use my launch like the black one that came in with the console. That's the one I use, and then I have the
Okay.
white and the blue that I use with the actual PS4. So
Mm.
yeah, man, it's a lot. It's a lot. In between all of that, me and my daughter, we finished um, Super Mario 3D World. It was great. It was actually quite a good video game there. Very very solid game. We started doing the like the Star Worlds, but they're hard. Like I was like, yeah, this is hard. And it's especially hard if you're doing a 2 player. Especially hard in one of those players is a 6-year-old. So it gets a little much because the levels are hard and you have to like do precise jumps. If someone gets left behind, then you get either pulled back or move forward, whatever the game decides to do. Um, so yeah, it's very enjoyable. I thoroughly enjoyed that game quite a lot. That was one of the games that I was looking forward to actually when the Wii U when version came out. I was like, it's a bummer, right, that I'm not gonna play this game because I'm not gonna buy a Wii U. And that was one of the games that really bummed me out that I missed back when the Wii U was a thing. So I'm glad that I could experience it now and yeah, like but the Bowser's Fury thing was excellent. I mean, it's choppy, but it works. Whatever they're trying to do and whatever they're planning for the next Mario, which would probably hear about, I don't know, before the year ends, probably.
Probably.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think the Switch it's well positioned to be. I mean, it is already great. It's already surpassed the Xbox One. Um, it wouldn't surprise me like lifetime if they do a revision that it'll get close to PS4 numbers. So
Oh,
they're
sure.
they're doing their thing, and they Nintendo came out today and said, "Hey, we're still looking at doing more like mini consoles." So that's a thing. They could come out with like a Game Boy Mini that you can have Game Boy games or an N64 Mini. I know that's been like a lot of people have been asking for it, but then you have a problem with the controller, right? Because then you have like an actual, I guess, more complicated controller. It's not your basic pad, right? So you have to come up with a solution for that. Um, yeah, so we'll see where that ends. But yeah, not much on my end. It's just me thinking about how am I going to handle all these games. You know the meme, right? It's like, what am I going to do with all these games? Basically, that's what it is. So it really stinks that I really don't want to buy anything. Like I see stuff and it's like I don't want to buy it. Ratchet, saw it, don't want
Oh
to buy it.
yeah, that's
Guilty
true.
Gear, which I really want, don't want to. I don't want to buy it. Near, like Replicant, don't want to buy it. I don't want to buy anything because it's like I still, dude, I still have the copy that I got for the copy that I got of Persona 5 Royal is still shrink wrapped. I haven't opened it yet since
Wow.
since Black Friday that I got it.
Wow. And that's what I was gonna suggest. Like even like Ratchet and Clank and some of those are games that I would be picking up probably like Black Friday. Hopefully by then, you know, I've gone through a good amount of my games.
Yeah, no, that would probably be a good choice, but it's just a lot, man.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
So
It's a
yeah,
lot.
the complaint is like, hey, where's our exclusive stuff or whatever? But for people like you or I, we've got plenty going on
There's
that
too
we're
much. Yeah,
we're okay. We're okay.
yeah, yeah.
And
So
we know what's coming. It's not like we're like in a state of like we don't know. Like we know Sony's got stuff coming.
yeah, yep. Uh, Want to talk about Bad Batch?
Sure.
Sure. Not much to say. It's good. The last episode was good. Again, it's gotten like it's exactly what we said. It's gonna be Clone Wars. It's gonna start like at a high, right, and then it's gonna just like level off, and then it's gonna pick up again towards the end, and that's exactly what's happening. Um, did you? So let's skip that. I had a thought. We'll skip it. It's too
Okay.
controversial. It's too controversial. I
Okay.
don't want to bring it up on the
Okay.
podcast.
Okay.
So
I understand.
yeah, in so now we find out that there's two factions of the Camino ones, and what they want to do with Omega. Um, Basically, we found out that the prime minister is actually Deuce, and you know he is in it for the money, basically. Versus the medical assistant that was in charge of the clones, like she actually cares. So there's that little conflict there with the Kaminoans, and I think that really gave them a lot of depth that they didn't have before. Because before there were the cloners and that was it, right?
Yeah.
But now there's motives and there's stuff behind the scenes that we didn't get with the prequels or Clone Wars, and that's good because they're giving us lore, and I think it's great. Yeah, basically the reason that they're behind Omega is that she's the only other than Boba Fett, she's the only other clone creator with like raw genetic data from Jango Fett, and they need her to make more clones. Basically.
Yeah, yeah,
So.
yeah. They want extract DNA from her, and it's interesting. It makes a whole lot more sense now why her name is even Omega. Some people were saying at first, oh, her name's Omega because she's the last clone, or that we knew that wasn't true right away because we saw they were still making clones after, and
Correct.
they want to make more, but. Remember, like when it came to the whole DNA thing, like with Boba Fett, before he was even called Boba Fett, he was called Alpha because he was the closest. We raised him as a son, but he was one of the closest clones, created after Jango. So, Omega now being also extremely close, and that she's different. She's a girl. We didn't see that before, so it's a interesting route to go. Yeah, like a lot of fans were doing what we do with Star Wars. I think we figured it out, and she's Palpatine's clone, or the clone gone wrong, and all this kind of stuff. But this makes sense. This is good. This is not ridiculous. This is very safe, very subtle, and still keeps me interested. I love that Cad Bane was brought in. I love the fight against Shan. Like that was really cool. You never know when to give up Shan, and they're just going back and forth with each other. There's really cool stuff going on there, but. I do think though that there's got to be something more than them just trying to play keep away from the Camino people. Like there's gonna be something, I think, and I could be wrong, but I just feel like from a story standpoint, we still got a lot more episodes. Not even few, we got a lot more episodes to go on this show. So I just feel like for the rest of every single episode to just be. Hey, let's get the kid, and then when we get the kid, we're playing keep away from these people from Camino. Like, I feel like it's going to tie into something bigger, and whether that's the next animated thing that they're working on, or some nice ribbon, end to something else that we'd never seen in Star Wars. I don't know, but it's hard for me to believe that this is kind of like, okay, we got all of our questions answered, and then they're just going to be, find the kid, protect the kid, and that's it. Like, I feel like there's something else. Even with the Mandalorian, they didn't just do that, right? Like it wasn't just hey keep away with the kid. There was purpose behind it. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, no, good episode overall. I enjoyed it. It was good to see that Crosshair didn't give up even after the burnt, and he kept like chasing them on a fighter. That was pretty good. Like that intro was pretty action packed, and it was good. Because he showed us two sides and what the inhibitor chip and whatnot did to the clones. So that was very cool to see. And yeah, I think the whole thing between Cade and Fennec was really good. So yeah, overall decent episode. We'll see what they have tomorrow. So cool. But okay. So who the heck at IGN is reviewing Loki episodes?
I don't know, man.
Bro, because they gave this episode a 5. Are you?
No, this is the best episode of the whole season.
Honestly, yeah, yeah. It's like because
and that's not taking a slight at the other episodes, but
no,
it just
not at all.
Just ramped up,
Yeah, and this episode was brave, right? Because it's like they basically offed 2 people, like the main character.
Yeah,
the 2 main characters. Yeah,
seriously,
and. We're
gonna get into spoilers, guys. By the way,
so honestly, who at IGN is doing this thing? It's like a 5. Are you serious, dude? it was awesome. It was awesome. So the
I don't know
whole
what they're expecting.
yeah, so the whole Nexus event that they created that was like a definite spike, different from the other branches. It's basically Loki falling in love with himself. Like he's so narcissistic that he doesn't love
That of
anyone
all
except
people, he
himself.
would.
It was yeah, and I think it was like poetic to some extent, right? It's like it's messed up, like
It's
even
weird.
yeah, like even I was gonna say Morpheus, Mobius said it.
Mobius.
Yeah, Mobius said it, and Mobius said it was like, oh, it's like this messed up, relation. It is messed up, right? But to some, it's like he would be the one to
He would.
to fall in love with himself, right? Basically, um,
Yeah.
and
So messed up.
it is, and
It's great, but it's messed
it's
up.
great, yeah. So it turns out that that was the thing that really changed everything. Like whatever the ending of this series is gonna branch off to all the other Marvel stuff, and we already know it. Um, I thought the overall this episode was excellent, man. Visually, the subtleties in the sets, the dialogue was excellent. It was. I really don't know what these guys at IGN are expecting. Like they expected this thing to be like, nonstop action from beginning to end, but
Which doesn't make
it
it
doesn't
a
have
great
to be
show.
right because
Yeah.
it had an action sequence at the very end, and
Great
that's all
action
it needed,
sequence.
honestly, because because of the stakes. But I think that the the meat of that episode was just the dialogue and the visual storytelling that was going on throughout the entire episode. It was excellent. It's excellent. So yeah, so Mobius gets pruned because he believes Loki about them being variants in the TVA, and he goes back and starts questioning the judge, Ravina, and or is Ravina or Ravna or yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, her
uh
character is though an actual comic book
Comic book character,
character,
yeah. Yeah.
and she is technically kind of like a someone who actually works for King at some point.
Yeah.
So, not saying it is, but
It could be. Like I
this
guess we'll
could
find
be a
out on the next
connection.
episode because that's basically where it
Who's
ends.
controlling the bots?
Yeah, correct,
Is
correct.
it her? Is that she's controlling them and making it look like, but really she's in charge of it? I don't know.
I think she was put in
Was she?
charge of the play. Well, I don't think so because the episode starts with her like talking to the timekeepers, and
The
we'll get to the
bots,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to the timekeepers here in a minute. But the episode starts with her like talking to them, like getting instructions. I mean, it could be that they're there to get instructions from someone else, and she knows because she clearly knows because she would have been like, "Holy crap! I didn't know this guy's for robots,"
Yeah.
So she knew,
Yeah.
and she clearly was the only one that knew. Um, and that was the thing, right? Like, why was she like put in a position of power when she messed up? Like, her variant got away from her, like right in the courtroom. So why her? And we go back to Kang. I don't know if Kang's gonna be introduced here. If we're gonna have to wait until Ant-Man, but maybe there's gonna be hints here, and then a full introduction later on. Um, it was excellent. It's excellent. So
Did you catch in the mid credit scene? Did you catch? I love that mid credits with all the Lokis.
yeah,
But did you catch the Avengers Tower in the corner?
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a messed up New York. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So
So
it
that's obviously clearly has to tie into why they don't want him
well
to get.
that's
They
that
didn't want him to get away.
that's probably a different timeline. Like that's
Yeah.
one of the timelines where either Loki or Ultron or someone won. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll find out, I guess, because it's like, what is this? And someone probably knows, right? Um, dude, take it because I can keep talking about it
Yeah.
because it was awesome.
No, no, you're absolutely right. them offing Mobius, like that was to me one of the biggest shockers of the whole thing. Not even Loki getting off because I'm like, dude, when the main character gets put out, you're like, they're gonna be back. He's also a main character, but there was something about like that scene that was very unexpected, and I love that. That helped
Mm-hmm.
keep it very interesting. They've done a good job of keeping me very well interested
Yeah.
in this show and um keeping me on my toes, keeping me guessing. Like I literally have no clue where this is going. I'm trying to take guesses. You know, you and I both are familiar with Marvel's lore pretty well, and I still think they've taken a very creative route that hopefully pays off very well in the end. I have faith that it will because so far it's been extremely superior writing and storytelling and acting. I mean, all of it together has just been really really well. I made it clear like last week's episode, was dialogue heavy. This week again was dialogue heavy, but what they did in this one was that they took they took the connection that was established from the episode before and just put it on rollerblades like going
Yeah.
forward. So you were like very invested to see what happened with these characters. Whereas it's like I'm sitting here watching, I'm like, these guys are they're villains. Like Loki's not the good guy. I mean, yeah, we see his where he changes,
Yeah.
right, going into Infinity War and all that. But we're like, this is not that Loki yet. This is 2012 Loki, right? Like,
Yeah.
he's not a great dude, right? We all love to hate him, right? He's just he's a fun character.
Yeah.
But it's like, but the point being is that the execution is so well on him and Sylvie that we love it, and getting that reveal of Sylvie's life just being taken as a kid. She doesn't even know why. That's what she wants to figure out. Like, why did you guys take me from my timeline? What was the deal? Give me information. We don't get those answers.
I think she's
So,
excellent, man. I really hope that she
yeah,
sticks
man.
around. I really like
Yeah,
her.
there's got to be something big there.
Yeah.
I mean, taken as a kid that you're a variant from the timeline. What is the deal here?
Yeah.
Don't know, man. I can't wait to find out.
Yeah,
So
I
we'll
really
see.
like her. Like her body language is it's awesome.
Oh,
Like
dude, she
she doesn't have
mimics
to.
him so
She
well.
does. Yeah, and she doesn't have to say a word to know what she's thinking. Like she's brilliant. So yeah, I really hope that she sticks around. So what about Sif being back?
That scene was
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, that was good. That
Oh,
was good. It
that
was
was
like
great.
an infernal time loop. It was
Oh yeah.
it was like the end of JoJo Part 5. You keep dying basically, and you're trapped in a death loop for eternity basically.
Live, die,
Yeah,
repeat.
it's the most OP thing ever.
Edge
Yeah,
of Tomorrow.
it was good. But then even that, you know, time loop he was able to affect with like his actions. It's like, yeah, I know I suck, right? And I know that I did this and I did this because I thought it was gonna be fun and whatnot. And yeah, I deserve to be hated because I'm not good.
Yeah.
And he even admitted it there. But then when it comes back to he goes back to that time loop, and then Mobius comes back and says, "It's like, why not try to be the good guy?" And he has this like this thing, like, yeah, baby, I'll try to be the good guy, and he gets pruned. So, and they both get pruned. It
Yeah.
was excellent. It was excellent.
But
So
then if he gets pruned, but then he gets unpruned, like how? Because like I'm trying to figure out now, how do they bring him back? Does that mean people who are pruned are not really pruned? Like, is that like, or is it more of a if they can get back to that same point in time and stop that from happening? Like, I don't know
so
how
I
they're gonna
thought.
do it, but I can't wait to find out.
Yeah, because my understanding is that it was a reset. Like they get sent back to wherever they came from. That was
Mm.
my initial understanding of it. Now it could have changed. So, I mean, we don't know. We really
I mean, we see where
we'll
he
find out.
showed up, right? In
Yeah,
another, he shows up in another place.
maybe they have like time
Like,
pockets. Like
yeah,
maybe what they just send them to, like, instead of sending them to like back to their reality or to like a time prison or something, they have like an alternate branch that's already messed up and just send them there, and for them to figure out whatever's going on. So yeah, it's crazy. Dude, this show's great.
It's gonna be a lot of Loki's coming.
Show's great. Alligator Loki's awesome.
Little baby gator Loki.
Baby gator Loki. Yeah, Gatorland Loki. Um, yeah, I really want to see those guys in action sometime.
Yeah.
Probably, hopefully next week. So we'll see.
Yeah, someone shared with me like I guess there was like a meme of it, and it was like when you like take your friend to Comic-Con, it's like there's like a bunch of different like random Lokis or whatever.
Yeah,
It's great.
yep. Joel, I should have transitioned to this when talking to when we were talking about Bad Batch, but RIP Slave One. I don't know how you feel about this, sir.
I'm so upset about this. You have no idea. When I read this thing, dude, and I'm usually pretty level headed when I hear stuff like this, where it's like, keep going. I was so angry, and even just thinking about it now, because I like Disney. I think as I've gone older, I actually appreciate them more, as a company. But with what they've done with Star Wars, this is like absolutely berserk. Why on earth? Who on earth is actually being offended by a ship being called the Slave One? Which, if do they even know why it's called the Slave One? Do they understand like its history? Like I didn't see a change.com, petition, with a million people signing change the Slave One because it's you know what I'm saying? Like it feels like a very unnatural dialogue. Like they're trying to be proactively woke or whatever you want to call it. And by doing that, they're picking the wrong one. Now, at the end of the day, is this a big deal? Really isn't, right? It really, like, at the end of the day, we can still call it the Slave One, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
They didn't even call it the Slave One in the movies, right? They don't call it by name. It's correct.
That was a thing that was given to it by Lucasfilm after the fact, because it didn't even have a name. Like, it's never referred to Slave One at all in any of the movies, right? I'm not bothered by it, right? Because of that specific reason, right? And I know that this is more of a marketing thing. It will always be the Slave One to me. I don't care. I totally understand where they're coming from at the same time, right? The proactive wokeness, like you said, it's weird. But you know what? They probably wanted to avoid having to deal with that. And they realized it. I don't think that it's a big deal among Star Wars fans, the name, so that's probably why no one complained about it. But
I don't know, dude. I've been seeing it blow up on my stream. A lot of the Star Wars folks that I've been following are like, "What the heck is this?"
No.
Again,
I mean, yeah. No, I know that I've seen, right? No, but I mean, they never complain about the name. I mean,
no.
Yeah. That's
what that.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see. Yeah. Sorry, I misunderstood. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, of all the things, it's not like people came to them. This isn't like we're talking about, Song of the South. You know what I mean? Where people were like, "Hey, this is a problem."
It's a different
this isn't like people came up to you and were like, "Hey, you need to do something." Like, this is something like them going out of their way to say, that Lego may not sell if the parents see,
Yeah, that's the thing, right? When you and I can see where they're coming from. It doesn't bother me, right? Because to me this is to me less of a big deal than what happened to Luke in the sequel trilogy.
That is true.
That to me is a bigger problem. When storytelling's the problem, right? Then all these things are tertiary to me, so I really don't mind it. But yeah, it's a thing. It's what it is. It's fine, Joel. It's not gonna.
Man, I was pretty angry. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I was pretty upset about it.
So
and I'm pretty level-headed usually, but man,
it's interesting that I saw it and I was like, I can see where they're coming from. It's whatever, and I just kept moving on. It didn't really bother me that much, and I'm good. now the big thing is that if you have a box that says Slave One collector's item, there you go. So now you're gonna be banking. Or the last one, like if you own like the last Lego set or the last Slave One that model that came out with a box that says Slave One, yeah, I bet that you
Keep
can
that
probably
thing.
buy a box that says Slave One in Japan because they don't care. They probably release it as Slave One over
Japan
there
don't
because
care.
they don't. Yeah, they're not offended about names and all these things, right? Like
Well,
they have
the numbers are a
Mr.
problem.
Satan in Dragon Ball, and no
Yeah.
one got offended. Comes over here. Oh, what are they doing to our children? Yeah, it's whatever. They
It's
don't care.
Japan.
So yeah. Um, PlayStation. It's basically gonna be the rest of the episode because that's all we got.
We got.
Actually, before we jump into that one, we do have a follow up on the whole Konami thing that's been happening, and whole speculation that Kojima is somehow involved with Konami again, making a Silent Hill. Um, it came out just yesterday that Konami is indeed partnering with the studio to create a Silent Hill game, and they are partnering with Bloober Team. Um, I don't know if you've ever seen or played any of their games, Joe, but um, I think they're a decently capable studio. I've watched playthroughs of Layers of Fear, the first one, and I think it's a brilliant horror game. Uh, Basic, yes, but again, you can have basic gameplay. It's basically a horror walking simulator. Um, but at the same time is again art design, audio design, all this stuff that really brings the environment to life. The visual effects, I guess the illusion tricks they do, like where you're looking at something and then you turn around and everything is just like, where am I? This is not the room that I was in. All these things, right? It does it brilliantly. Um, I've heard really positive things about their new game that came out for Xbox and PC. The Medium. I guess that game's coming out for PlayStation soon as well. Um, yeah, so they're partnering with this studio for the next Silent Hill game. I think this is appropriate. Where this studio with having an established IP can really make a decent little game, if you ask me. Um, I think and this probably didn't cost Konami a lot of money because they're Bloober is a relatively small team, small studio. But what they're doing with like visual storytelling and like I said, like environment shifting, like what they did with the medium and all this stuff, um, I think they do a really really good job at that. So they already worked with uh, Akira Yamaoka for the soundtrack on the medium, and Yamaoka did the soundtrack for Silent Hill. Like there's already connections, right? Um, so I think this is good. This is good. Not blown away. That it's not Kojima Productions, but at the same time, it's like I think these guys are capable, and they should be able to pull out a decent game with this franchise. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that, sir. I don't know if you have anything else to share.
No, I mean, I can't pretend to say that I played any of those games, but I do respect your admiration for it. So, yeah, good to see Konami making moves.
Finally,
Yeah, seriously.
we'll see. Um, because okay, so let's talk about the let's actually transition into this one. So Sony announced this week that Housemark, makers of Resogun, uh, Super Stardust, and more recently Returnal, is now part of the PlayStation Studios family. So that to me is a big deal. This is, in my opinion, it's been in the making for a while. Sony has published a lot of their games. Uh, I think Housemark is definitely a very very capable studio. Given the right tools, I think Resogun is. I would say I would put it in my top like 15 games for PS4. It's
Yeah, it was
really it's
pretty good.
addicting. Yeah, it's really addicting. It's a really good game, and it's a pick up and go game sort of thing. And I played the heck out of it on the Vita. So, but I mean
At
the
one
Vita
point, they
version
gave that free on PS Plus or something, right?
that was a release title. They gave it out free. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is it makes sense. This is one of those things like Insomniac, right? I mean, this is not to the scale of Insomniac, but it's one of those things that you can see. It's like, yeah, this makes sense. So, but before we jump into the next thing, anything else?
Ah, no, man, I'm good.
Okay, cool. So, so the whole Konami thing, right? Happening. This happened. PlayStation Japan put out a tweet saying Blue Point Games is part of the PlayStation family. They deleted the tweet. So I don't know if they confused Housemark with Blue Point or if they're trying to say, because it was on the same day.
Trolling.
So now you're making me think that they're buying Blue Point, which they've been rumored for a couple of years now that they're working on a Metal Gear Solid remake. Of course, they did the Demon Souls remake that came out for PS5, which is excellent. They did the Metal Gear Solid collection that came out for the 360 and PS3. So Bluepoint ported that, and they did the Shadow of the Colossus remake for PS4. So very capable studio. Demon Souls looks incredible. Like if you compare it to the PS3, it's like, yeah, it's the same game, but holy crap, this is insane. This one to me is the one that's more interesting if it's true, right? Because I think this is a studio that has the potential to be great. Um, I I know that they're more of a port house than anything else, but if given the opportunity to create new IPs, or even if they dedicate themselves to like, let's look back in the catalog and let's see what we can recreate. Um, I think this is a good get for Sony if true. But how do you feel about this one? If it'll be an actual thing?
No, if that's an actual thing, like that's a huge win. You gotta hand them a pretty big congratulations because yeah, I do appreciate what's going on at PlayStation Studios, and I love the idea of continuing to bring in these other studios in and expand um their their ownership and continue to build titles for their brand. So yeah, man, I'm hopeful that this is all true and this all falls out within time. I mean, it's when you put stuff like that on social media, like you got to know, right? That there's, I mean, things happen, but that's like pretty on the nose to me. Like that's a little too specific of a mistake. It wasn't like it's not
Yeah,
even close. It's not even close, right? So I don't know.
yeah. It's too specific. You
Yeah.
got it right there. Um, yeah, it'll be interesting. Like, I mean, rumor is that they're working on that. What else can they do? I don't know. Um, I'm excited that they're expanding, right? And again, this is not like Bethesda and all that, right? Um, but
I
at the
mean,
same,
good for those guys,
yeah,
but
good for those guys, absolutely, yeah. I know
yeah,
they needed the W, so yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Um, but it's like this feels a lot more strategic versus let's buy everything that way we'll have everything and can compete. But this
Yeah.
feels this feels more strategic.
It's not a monopoly move as much as it is
Yeah,
like quantity over quality, like quality over quantity. Excuse me.
yeah, and not saying that. I mean,
Not that
because
Bethesda doesn't give
no,
good
no,
stuff
no,
at
absolutely
all.
not. And
They're an amazing big group,
yeah,
but yeah, the strategy behind it isn't like let's go buy something because
correct.
we can afford it. It's like
Yeah, like I think to me more impressive is that they Microsoft purchased Obsidian. That to me was more impressive than Bethesda, because the Bethesda thing, you know,
I mean,
it is
let's
what it
face
is. Yeah.
let's face it. Like, if they really wanted to say like we got you after the Bethesda thing, they would have bought Square Enix. Like we talked about this
Oh
before.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like that would have been the way to do it, in my opinion.
Yeah,
So
because there were rumors like when it happened,
right,
and Square had to come out and say it's like, no, we're not gonna get bought,
yeah,
because they there were a lot of rumors. They could potentially still do it. I don't
still
know.
could happen.
But uh, it's I could see that happening, but I think Sony's more strategic than that. Like they got the partnership. They're getting Final Fantasy 16. 7 is still a platform exclusive. There's supposedly it got posted on the Epic Game Store, Final
Hmm.
Fantasy 7 remake, and we got like deleted. The page got deleted. There was a page that went up. It got deleted. Um, so it could come out on PC. That's fine, and but it'll still be a platform exclusive. Um, what's what's even crazier than that, Joel, is that today it's like this was like every day something happened with PlayStation this week, um, or for the last 3 days at least. So this morning they announced that they acquired Nixxes, which is a Dutch studio that specializes on porting games to PC. So it seems to me that Sony is prepping themselves for either a strategic partnership with someone in the PC side, or they're getting ready to start like publishing straight up PC ports. Um, if it happens, I can see them partnering with like the Epic Game Store. I mean, they've had a good relationship, and we've seen like Square Enix is partnering with Epic. That could be, I think that would be a decent platform for them to release their games on. I don't like people talk crap about the Epic Game Store. I haven't had a problem at all. I mean, I granted I didn't use it when it came out, right? But I've used it a couple times and I gotten a couple things from there, and it had zero issues. So, yeah, if they were to pick a partner, I think that would be the right choice. Or they can just straight up like publish the games at as PlayStation Studios on like Steam and everything. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, how do you feel about that, man?
No, no, I'm all for it again, man. Like that's huge, bro. Like I'm loving this news.
Yeah, this one's interesting because I don't think they're gonna come out and start like porting their big stuff like God of War and all the like the legacy franchises. But I could see Ghost of Tsushima coming out like
Yep.
on PC. Like when this whole director's cut that we'll talk about in a minute got
Yep.
announced or got out there, we thought that they were going to that was going to be like a PC version of it. So it could still happen.
Maybe
But
later.
yeah, but things like again like Ghost and all these like newer franchises that PlayStation's coming up with, like even Demon Souls, like if they want to port that up to PC, or Bloodborne, because they never put a Bloodborne to PC, they could probably use these guys to port Bloodborne to PC, and people would die happy, because they've been asking for it for years. But apparently this is a very decent studio, so it's a get that they didn't have, because they did not have a PC port department. They were outsourcing these things, and I think they saw an opportunity for them to make basically make an acquisition and probably cut back on some of those costs, and and end up straight up just publishing the games themselves. But yeah, Ghost of Tsushima director's cut got announced today. Uh, of course, PS5, PS4, August 20th. If you already own a PS4 copy, this would be a $20 upgrade on PS4, $30 upgrade on PS5. But new versions are going to come out physically, like a physical PS5 version for 70, physical PS4 version for
So
60.
so how does that work for someone like you who has the PS4 version, plugs it into their PS? PS5, downloads the PS5 version, right, that you'll be able to play, right? Because
Well,
that this one you can
I have to buy the upgrade
you have to buy the up. Okay,
for 30, and then basically that downloads a separate install.
okay,
Yeah, because on Final Fantasy
because
VII, so here's how Final Fantasy VII worked. I put in the disc, I installed it, putting the second disc, and that finished installing, and then but that installed on the external hard drive that I have, right? So when I downloaded the free upgrade, that downloaded to the PS5 drive. So I have two installs, one for PS4,
okay.
one for PS5,
Whew.
and yeah.
And you have to have both on there in order for it to run.
I think you can remove the PS4 version once you have the PS5 version, but you still need
Okay.
the disc. Yeah, yeah. So
Man, that's so
that's how it
weird.
worked. It's weird.
I mean, it works, but it's weird.
Yeah, smart delivery. Yeah, like Xbox doesn't have this problem because that they came up with smart delivery, and I think that works way better. I mean, it's good that you still have the option, right? Just you have to jump through a hoop, but it's still there.
And it makes sense now why the price reduction happened recently to
Oh, it's
Ghosts.
super cheap.
Like now it makes sense in comparison. But I still think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I still think it works out best if you just grab the PS5 disc natively at this point if you don't have it. Like
If it,
just get the
yeah,
new. Like
if
someone like me who never bought it on PS4, I think I might just buy the PS5 disc and call it a day.
yeah, I think in your case that's probably gonna be the best option. Yeah, I mean I'm good. I'll just upgrade
Right. You just have to pay the upgrade.
yeah, exactly. So I don't mind going through the hoop. Um, and I can probably just purchase that beforehand, and when the game starts installing, and probably just start getting the new version down. But it's a you're getting some extra content. So you're getting, of course, you're getting PS5 features. So you're getting improved frame rate and resolution, 3D audio. You're getting the DualSense features. Um, you can you also now get the lip sync for the Japanese
Oh
dialogue,
yeah.
which
That's
was a
cool.
big. So I started playing it in Japanese, and I switched it to English because the lip sync
Wow.
was too much. I was like, yeah, this is not like it's taking me out of the like Sekiro's different, like because it's a From Software game, so people talk and you don't see the lips moving, uh, so it's fine. So for Sekiro, I left it on Japanese and I'm playing with the subtitles. But on Ghost, I had to switch it back to English because it just was just taking me out. But the voice acting is phenomenal because they do have native speakers, so they do speak with an accent, and it sounds good. They're very well acted through and through on this game. Um, so in addition to that, there is an expansion, so you can now go to Iki Island, and there's monkeys. So instead of
Nice.
foxes, you get monkeys. Um, yeah, I'm assuming that you'll probably get like new gear that you can wear. Um, you get if you get the director's cut. Um, Let me see if this is the digital version. Hold on.
Stand by.
Stand by. So it says here that if you buy the director's cut, yeah, so you get extra features. So you get horse armor and you get the Hero Tsushima set. So you get the entire set um, of the get go versus just getting the sword. Because I think
Mm.
with when I got the deluxe edition, um, I could download the sword and the mask, but not the armor. I still had to get it in game, and I didn't get the horse armor. So in this one, you get that right off the bat.
Mm.
And they're also doing adding more features to the legends to the multiplayer. So they're adding more stuff. This game's real good. This game's real good. I watched the trailer today. I was like, oh yeah, this game's really good. I remember this game. This game, it's man tears because it's good. It's good. It's good stuff. Um, But it looks phenomenal. Like it looks on PS5, like that trailer, the little trailer they showed,
Yeah.
looks really good. Like even on PS4, it was impressive, but that frame rate though, it's like it's rough. Um, but yeah, they're saying that this is like I mean it's a 4K um uh, what do they call it, dynamic, but it's
Okay.
at 60. So
Yeah. So
so
that's what really
it's still,
matters.
yeah, it doesn't, it's fine. You basically won't notice the difference. It doesn't matter. Um, yeah, it's good. It's a good game. It's a good game, sir. I would highly recommend it if you have not played it to pick this up. I'll probably get the expansion. Again, it's one of those things that I just need to balance it out. I just need to
Yeah.
figure out what I'm gonna do, and we'll see. But highly recommend it. This is a great game. Man, playing this game with 3D audio must be awesome because
Oh
there's a
yeah.
lot of like
It's,
the wind mechanic that this game has is incredible, and that must be really cool. And
yeah.
listening to foliage and animals around you and people, it's like it should be awesome. Yeah, so I highly recommend it. Get it if you haven't gotten it yet. Ghost of Tsushima, it's a real good game. And yeah, that's what we got topic wise, sir. I don't know if you have anything else. You want to talk about
That's what we
that
got.
Spidey spoiler real quick? The Lego stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So before we go, there was a Spider-Man Far From Home Lego set that got leaked, and they leaked the Spider-Man suit. Basically, it's an improved version of the Avengers suit, or the quote unquote Iron Spider. The Lego set has Doctor Strange. It has Wong with a different getup, which could imply that it's a Wong from a different place.
Yeah.
Also, Wong confirmed to be the one fighting Abomination in that trailer.
Abomination. Yeah.
Yeah, for
Abomination
Shang-Chi.
confirmed and Wong confirmed, which
Yep.
yeah made sense.
Yeah. And MJ. The biggest thing in this one, other than the Spidey suit, is that there's what appears to be a mechanical scorpion
Yeah.
included in the set. So I mean that's a big hint right there at a baddie that we haven't seen in the MCU or the previous Spider-Man movies. But again, things seem to point at Spider-Verse, and based on that ending for Loki, that's it's definitely is a possibility.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking at it close up here, and there's also there's I guess there's two. I guess there's the one with Vulture and this like other one, and
Oh,
then
I didn't
there's
see that
this
one.
other. Yeah, let me shoot it over to you right now.
All right, cool,
Um,
cool, cool.
yeah, you should have that there.
Check it out.
But there's two images there, and the other one's got Vulture, so that's interesting. So Spider-Man's got that black suit going
Just black
on.
and gold, yeah.
Yeah, black and gold. And with Vulture there,
Oh
and
yeah, that looks
yeah,
hmm.
yeah, it's very interesting.
That looks like the anti-Ock suit from the game.
It does.
All right, all
Yep.
right, all right.
You
Interesting.
know, you know, it got my brain thinking now.
Yeah, it's like a spider copter.
So I was mentioning it to you
Tool
that
drone.
Toby Maguire was spotted out with some fan spotted him walking around, and the fan took a picture with him, and then asked him, Are you in Far From Home?" And he just winked at the guy and walked away. So worst kept secret, guys.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, at this point, basically at this point, it is the worst kept secret in Hollywood.
Yep.
Um, yeah, it looks. I like the suit. I like the combination of the Iron Spider with the black suit from Far From Home. I really like it. I like it. Hopefully we'll get an update on PS5 for that. Probably won't go
I
back because I
know.
platinum already, but it's still an update. Still download it. I'll check it out because it looks good. The game looks fantastic. That was a good game, man.
It was.
Really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. So that's what we got. If you want to go ahead and see us home, sir.
Absolutely. Guys, gals, good people, no load time. Thank you for sticking with us. We want to encourage you to stay connected. So please make sure you're following us on social media at no load time. That's at no load time. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. Subscribe to our show. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast version. We're on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, Amazon. Find us on your podcast platform. Follow us there. And that way you can hear all of our latest episodes as they come through. Make sure you also subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can watch our video versions. We also welcome feedback, questions, comments. We'd love to hear from you. So you can send us an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. Thank you all so much for your time, and we'll be seeing you on our next episode.
Thank you guys. Stay safe. We'll see you again next time.